Right, as you can see there, the time has come now for service. It says 107 miles. I changed the oil 10,000 miles ago. It was 122. But I did change it again between, but I didn't film it because I wasn't even changing the filter. I was just changing the oil. That's what I do. Every 10,000 miles, I change oil and I change the filter. Every 5,000 miles, I just change the oil. So I'm going to open the bonnet and start the process. Now, the way I normally do this is I get the car first to be very, very hot before changing oil, because if the engine is hot, the oil becomes very light. So when you open at the bottom, they just rushes out. Okay. So, and also I normally open here. As you can see, the steam there, the engine is very hot. Call it DIY on steroids. Or I could have jacked the car, but it wasn't going too high enough so that I can put the slipper in there. So I put the brakes there and then just drove it over this. Okay. Now here I found this sheet that my wife said she's throwing it away. Looks like good condition for me, but sometimes wives see things differently. So I'm using it so that I can go underneath there to start removing the under tray. There. Still not high enough, so I decided to put it on the ramps, put the jack here just in case this fails, because as you can see, it's not sitting fully on top there, but on the other side it's gone all the way. Okay, so it's very hard to put the car on these ramps because first of all the car is too low, so it's touching. It's a hassle, but it's safe this way. I've choked the wheels at the back there as well, so I put the brakes at the back, handbrake, first gear, so it is safe. Now I've done this before. Remove this cover, just lifting one side of the car, and I was able to go in. This time I couldn't. I think I've gained weight. So, but anyway, let's go. There's 11 of these, as you can see there, 10 mil bolts to remove this cover here. Some cars, they have a little opening here, so that instead of removing the whole cover, you just open there. It has one bolt there. You remove that and the flap opens. You remove oil, and then from there you close. But Citroen thought doing that will make easy life for Oscar. Let us just put 11 bolts just to get him to go around. Okay, so I'll carry on with the 11 bolts. Yeah, here we are. I've removed the cover. There it is over there. So now we're going to remove this plug here. But I also want to remove this. This is a nozzle for the Adblue. I want to remove it, clean it. Every 10,000 miles, I think I have to clean it as well. Oh, it's very nice. The engine is warm. So first, let's take out this. Right, it's coming out. Now, I remember somebody asked me about the size of this plug. Now, I don't know if it's the same in all cars, but in mine, this is the socket. 13/16. Okay, this is the right socket, 13/16. If you use any other socket, it might be too big, and you don't want to round that plug. It's going to be a nightmare to take it out. Okay, so it's 13/16. Okay, while that is coming out, I'll remove this nozzle to clean it. Okay, so I'm going to get an Allen key to remove it. Right, I've removed it. There it is. Now you may be wondering, why do I have to clean this? You see, this thing sprays Adblue in there. Okay, so there is a tank at the back there, and there's a tubing system going back there to get that liquid to be mystified to get in here to reduce emissions. Well, that's what they say. Now, it gets crystallized. It's like salt. So you have to clean this. There are some holes in there that it sprays. There are some tiny holes, just like an injector. You need to clean them, because if they get blocked, the pump there is trying to push. Here is blocked. You end up killing the pump. So it's best to keep this serviced at all times, so that that pump in the tank has less work to do. Because if it's clogged and it's trying to pump, as you can see, it's very dirty there. So you have to unclog it, clean it every 10,000 miles. I do this, so I hope I'm not going to have any issues back there in the Adblue tank. Okay, so I'm going to just clean it. I use normally this brake clutch cleaner. This very good stuff. You can use anything. You don't have to use brake clutch cleaner. Yeah, get a screwdriver, scrape in there, clean, put it back in there, then change the filter. Right, very clean. Look at that, shiny. Okay, so it's going back in there like so. Then put this clamp. Beautiful. I've done it, cleaned it, put it back on. I've put the plug here. I did not change the washer. I never do. I never have any issues with that. Okay, so here everything is done. I need to go up there and remove the oil filter. After that, then I will put back the cover, because what I used to do, which was very dumb, I used to put that cover back in here before I changed the oil filter. When I change the oil filter, the oil pours in that there. So now I've learned the trick. Before putting that back in here, I change the oil filter just in case oil spills from the filter, then it doesn't go on that tray. Okay, right, I just removed this pipe here. You can remove it from here, but I prefer removing this 2 bolts and then remove the whole thing like this, because sometimes it splits here when you try to remove it. So the best thing is to just remove the whole thing from there. Okay, now there is the oil filter. Let me see. Okay, that's socket number 27. There it is, 27. Don't use a bigger socket here, because if you round this thing, this is plastic, if you round this thing, you'll be unable to take it out. It will be a nightmare. And when I say round, I mean these corners here. You don't want to damage it, so use the correct socket. This one is 27. Okay, as you can see, the oil went on the drive. I'm gonna have to clean that. Okay, the filter is right there, and this is the cup that it came from. I don't know why they put them upside down. These filters supposed to be put in such a way that when you remove it, it doesn't make a mess. But as you know, the engineers these days, they just don't care about stuff like that. There's an oil seal here. This seal needs to be replaced. Put a new one, then put a new filter in there. Looks like there's a bit of mess in there. I'm gonna go inside the house and wash it with soap. I want it to be perfectly clean when I put a new filter in here. Okay, this is 10,000 miles. Every 10,000 miles I change the filter. 5,000 miles I don't. I'll say this at the end of the video again. There it is, clean, very nice. I put the new seal here, this ring, the new filter right there. So what I'm gonna do is apply a little bit of oil around this and then put it back in there. Right, it's there, it's tight but not welded. Now when you put this, because it's plastic, you move it first with your hand until it stops. Then you know that the threads have aligned, okay, are going in the right direction. Okay, they're not jumping, because if you start first by using a tool, you might not make the threads to go in the same line with the thread. You know what I mean. The threads may not align, and they may get damaged. Okay, and when they get damaged, you may need to buy a new cap like this. Okay, so you drive it first by hand, and then when it stops, you use the tool. Don't use the tool first to avoid any damage. Okay, now I'm putting back this pipe. Now if you can see here, these bolts are rusting, so I'm gonna use grease so that I reduce that rust. Very simple, really. This is copper grease. Just dyeing it like this. This will cure the rust. Put it in here. Surely there. That's where it needs to go. Come on, there. So next time when we remove this, because it had a little bit of grease, it's not gonna be tough to remove. Okay, again, dunk it in there like so. Don't be generous, this is a huge jar, so just put as much as you can to get this grease in there. The worst thing is trying to remove these and they refuse to come off. My goodness. Then it becomes a nightmare. I mean, it's not very important, this pipe, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I'm gonna tighten them. The number 10, this little tool here. Now you guys may be asking yourself, where is my helper? Well, my helper is doing his schoolwork, so I know you miss him. He will come to help me some other time, but in the meantime he has to focus on schoolwork, because you know, us as parents, we always want our children to do better than we did. So do I want him to be working in the cold like it is today, 2 degrees, and getting his hands dirty? Maybe not. I want him to be a little bit smarter than I am, you know. That's just how it is. Okay, so these are in. Just close that, and then I go underneath to put the tray. All done. I've put them 11 bolts closed up. Now we're going to fill in the oil and then start the car, move it. Then I come to clean all this mess here, or else the boss won't be happy. Okay, this is the only oil I use on my Citroen 1.6 HDI, Quaz INEOECS 5W-30. Only this one. Okay, if you want your engine to start leaking oils, put a different type of oil in there. It can still be 5W30, but different name, different make. You put it in there. There's a gasket that runs around the top tappet cover on these 1.6 HD engines. The gasket in there is just silicone gasket. You put the wrong oil in there, different chemistry. Even though it's 5W30, for some reason that gasket gets broken and you will start having oil leaks everywhere. I just checked mine at the bottom there, the back there. There's no oil leak. It's not pulling. So I'm stuck with this oil. Okay, Quaz, total Quaz INEO 5W30, this one. Okay, so And this engine 1.6 HDI needs about 3.8 liters, 3.7, 3.8 liters of this. I always get a little bit left in this, so this is how it is. Now, as you can see, I have covered everywhere. I don't want a single drop of oil to go down there, because as I inspect, I don't want to get confused with oil that leaked from here and oil that leaks maybe at the back there. If it leaks because of my pouring here, if it leaks, what I do is I thoroughly clean it immediately after, so that there's nothing there. Okay? Right. All done. Finished. So what I have to do is now is drive it down the ramps. Then, as usual, I'm gonna say a few words, if you don't mind. You know me, I'm talkative. So everything here is done. Let me just clear up everything, and I'll go inside the car and I'll say a few words, as usual. All right. As you have seen, everything is done. Now is to reset the car back to, because right now, as you can see there, it says 131. If it says 132, it's going to show a little spanner here. But I've done the service much earlier before the spanner comes out. Now, to reset that little spanner, you press and hold that, okay? And then your other hand switches on here. But you don't start the car, so you don't put your foot on the clutch. Again, you hold that, and then you press here, start, so that the car turns on, but not start the engine. I cannot do this with one hand, so I'll have to hold this, and then press this once, then you'll start seeing it counting there. I did it last time with my helper. If you scroll down on my videos, you'll see when I was servicing the car, and I just did that. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. I've done that. It counted from 10 to 0. So the next service will be 136,000 miles. Okay, but that service I'll be only changing the oil, not the filter. And then when it goes to 141,000 miles, I'll be changing the filter and the oil. Let me just flip the camera around so that I can explain a couple of things. Right, the car has been serviced, the reset has been done, and once again, I just wanted to clarify what I meant by changing oil every 5,000 miles without changing the filter, but changing the filter at 10,000 miles. For me, it has been working very, very well. Okay, the service interval, the oil change interval for this Citroen 1.6 HDI is 10,000 miles or 12 months. All right, now I don't go all the way to 10,000 miles. I can do it, but for me, I feel 5,000 miles intervals, put new oil, and I don't change the filter. There is a tiny bit of oil in the filter. It's not gonna make any difference. So, and then 10,000 miles, I change both. It's just to keep the engine in tip-top condition all the time. Why? Because these new diesel engines, they have a turbocharge, and a turbocharge has two bushes that get lubricated by oil, and turbocharge wants clean oil all the time, because if these bushes get clogged by dirty oil and they don't get properly lubricated, the turbo is gone. Because as you know, the turbo has two blades, one compressing the air and one being fired up by the fire coming from the engine. Think about it. The fire that is coming from the engine goes straight inside the turbocharge. I'm talking fire, not heat, fire. So that thing glows red. And if you don't keep oil in tip-top condition in there, you are risking those bushes. You are risking your turbo. So I'll rather keep on changing oil every 5,000 miles than buying a new turbo. That's just me, okay? And the other thing is, changing filter at 5,000 miles doesn't make any sense. Let's say your car has little bits of metals coming, for some reason, and they get stuck in your filter. If that happens every 5,000 miles, then your engine is shredding itself to pieces. You haven't got an engine, you just have to buy a new engine, So for me, that's the main reason, is just to keep the engine running in a tip-top condition. Okay, so I'll be doing the diesel filter. I always change it at 20,000 miles, and air filter 20,000 miles I do them, but oil and oil filter 10,000, oil alone 5,000. That's good. And then coolant 50,000, but manufacturers can go all the way to 100,000 and then change it. Okay, so that's the way it is. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one when I'm doing the Kia. It's very cold at the moment. I don't think I will be able to do this until this cold goes away. Yes, yesterday it was -2 degrees. So in the morning, so it's very, very cold and wet as well. There's no way I'm going down there again. Kia can survive, but this, it needed to be done. Okay, so see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.